it was less than 2 weeks old when it came into our care. So when it's opened its eyes, it was to humans, and it was to animal care staff at the Wildlife Preserve, not to its own kind. So in the kind of months from when he joined our care at the Wildlife Center, those beginnings are still an endeavor to, provide the animal with the best possible life and survival. And at that young, you're just meeting basic needs. And still we're trying, though, at that point to ensure that staff are not spending too much time with it, only meeting its basic needs. But one of the basic needs of a small animal is nurture, and it was a difficult balance. And ideally, you're thinking about, okay, this animal goes back into the wild. But in such an instance where that animal is opening its eyes to a different species, humans, it instantaneously makes that scenario a lot more challenging for a re-release that is successful enough for the animal to have a fighting chance. And so the first little while was, as any offspring raising, was pretty challenging. And then you add in this adorable, fluffy, very charismatic little creature, and it's really hard not to get attached. And staff, had to battle with that. And then when there was, greater understanding of this animal's long-term care and likeliness of not going back into the wild, that starts to shift. After realizing that no other facility was able or interested in taking this animal and giving it a long-term home, that also then spurred a lot of staff desire, and all of the people who had joined in his story and were already a part of it, given the people who had picked him up and been a part of that surrogate work. And somehow his story just kind of caught all the media. Like People magazine caught it somehow. As everyone created their own relationship and felt a sense of connection to this animal, it really became more and more clear that the reach of it was crazy. And so this needed to continue to evolve to be a part of those people's stories. And again, while that person who picked up the animal did not truly mean any negative harm to this wild animal, we live in a wilderness city, in a landscape, and a lot of the staff felt strongly that he had a greater story to tell through the rest of his life. And so the fundraising really became a part of that human-wildlife conflict. Even when we don't actively intend to do something, our actions often have impacts on animals.